Alright, so for this tutorial on your calculator, make sure you have your calculator. We're going to go over a few of the basic functions. There are a lot of functions on this calculator that deal with statistics and Algebra 2 type things. We aren't going to be learning that in 7th and 8th grade, so I'm not going to go over that. You can probably find an actually more professional tutorial on this online somewhere, but this will be Mrs. Cease's version. So if you haven't figured out how to turn your calculator on, there's an on button in the bottom corner. Oh, and thanks. That is also how you turn it off. You see the second button, it's another color on your blue calculators, it's a light blue. So if you want to turn your calculator off, you hit second and then hit the on button and it will actually turn it off. It also automatically turns off once it's in the darkness for a while or just sitting on your desk for a while without being used. It does have a power save mode because this is a miniature computer. I bet you the computer board in here is better than the first cell phones. That'd be funny to actually get the stats on that. So, basic functions you guys all understand, yes? You can put in the numbers 21 or 25 plus 6 equals, etc. Tell me you all know how to do that.
Yes.
Divide, times, subtract, plus, all right here. The ones I know you guys would like to know are my little shortcuts on how to use fractions on here, and so I'm going to show you those primarily. So when you're looking at this screen, you see here at the top we have our second button, and you go down one row and over, and you see PRB. Yes. What's right above that in the light blue? You see the F to D, right? That stands for fraction to decimal. So on your calculators, go ahead and type in, make sure you turn it back on, like a fraction. Let's just do 1 over 2. Oh, the fraction button is right below there. See the A/BC? That's your fraction button. So if I hit 1 and then hit the ABC and then 2 on your calculator, woo, you'll see the 1 and then a backwards L2. That stands for 1/2. If you press the enter key, it actually switches it to the, this is hard to do, fraction. You see it? Stop laughing at me. Okay? Now if I want to change this, fraction to a decimal, now you guys can all do 1/2 in your head, like I know that, but sometimes it's like 5/8. You hit the second button, the other color, and then that PRB, so second PRB, and you'll see that it puts answer, it remembers what your answer was, F to D. You see all kinds of reflection here. And hit equal. Oops, I hit other buttons.
0.5.
And you'll see that it turns it to a decimal. You can also do the reverse. If it is a decimal, hit that again, second, and that PRB, and it switches it back to a fraction. Wow. Welcome to being able to use a calculator, guys. Okay, so that's how you can change from fraction to decimal, decimal to fraction. Can I do all questions at the end? Okay. If you want to put in a mixed number, 1 and 3/5, you're just going to hit that fraction button multiple times, the ABC. So I'm going to say 1, hit the fraction button. What did I say, 5/8? 5, hit the fraction button. 8, hit the fraction button. So you'll see that it's 1 little l, 5 little l, 8. That's 1 and 5/8. If you hit the enter button, you'll see it does 1 and then this U, which stands for the 1's a whole number, and then puts 5/8 as a fraction. So that means 1 and 5/8. Now again, can I put this as a decimal?
Yes.
Yes. So hit the second button, the fraction to decimal, and hit enter, and you'll see 1 and 5/8 is actually 1.625. And you can go backwards, 1.625 into a fraction.
That's epic.
It is epic. Makes life a lot simpler. What if I have, okay, so put it into a mixed number. Put it back to a mixed number. So we have 1 and 5/8. Everybody got that? Let's change this to an improper fraction. Now, when we do it ourselves, we take the denominator times the big number and then add the little numerator and put that on top of the denominator, right? Your calculator does that for you. Hit the second, you see above the fraction button where it says A, B, C, and then it says to D, E. See it right here on the screen? See the light blue? So while you have that mixed number, press your second button and then the fraction button. Hit enter, and you'll see it changes 1 5/8 to 13 over 8.
Wait, what were the steps again?
Yeah. So, do you have a mixed number? So now hit the second button, this little second button, and then hit the fraction button, the ABC button. And you see it changes it to, everybody practice this so I know you know how to do it.
Whoa.
Which part? Did you type in a fraction? Just make up a fraction. 5 over 8, it doesn't matter. No. Sydney, will you help her? Type. Show her how to type. Shh. Okay, I have a couple more tricks to show you. Hold on.
That's pretty moist.
My AirPlay went away. Hold on, let me pause my video. Okay, so let's go over a couple other small tricks that are really nice. When you're using your calculator and you say you've just come up with an answer, you just were solving and you got 45. Okay, so put in 45. Then you want to take that answer and divide it by something else. I don't have to type 45 again. It's already here. I know it's in the answer. Once you hit enter, sorry. See how it's in the answer? So just right now, your calculator will remember what the answer is. So you just can say 45, okay, hit the divide button by 5, and you see how it does answer divided by whatever you put? Hit enter, and it does it for you. Okay, so when you're doing, guys, when you're doing more complicated equations, it will also remember. So if you come up with a weird fraction or a big, huge decimal, it will remember the answer. Just move on to the next division or multiplication. Now, if you are wanting to put in a longer equation, you can do that. Say that I have 2 times 5, and then once I've done, or 2 plus 5, and then once I've done that, multiply that times 10. You have parentheses. See right here, parentheses? So I can say open parenthesis, the left button, and say 2 plus 5, close parenthesis, and then remember when a number's outside a parenthesis, it means multiply. So you can just put 8 right there, or 10, or I can put times 10, whatever you want to do, but I'm just going to put, 8. So 2 plus 5, it's hard to see, in parentheses, 8 on the outside of parentheses. So it's going to add 2 plus 5, which is what?
7.
And then multiply that times 8.
56.
Magic, 56.
Wow!
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now the only thing you cannot put in here is variables. You can't plug in an X and it will solve it for you.
No.
You're going to actually have to do that math.
Yeah.
Now, if you have an equation and you know what X is, you could plug in the whole equation, plug in what X is, and it'll tell you what Y equals. However, I do need you to understand you need to know how to do that more than your calculator does. Does that make sense? Like, don't just not learn the math.
Yeah.
Okay, another is how to square something. So if I have, I know you guys know the small squares, but if you don't know, like, well, actually I know all of them. If you don't know 15 squared, there's a big one, right? You'd have to do 15 times 15 on your calculator, right? Well, there's a squared button. So I type in the word 15, and you see this little X with the little 2? That's the squared button. So hit that, and it will look like 15 with a little 2 above it. So I typed in 15, and I hit this X squared right here. And then hit enter, and you can see that 15 squared is 225.
Whoa.
Now, what if you want to do something to a higher power besides squared? What if you want to do it to the power of 3 or to the power of 7?
Hit it twice.
Nope. Put in 15. Right above that is this arrow that points up. You guys find it? Looks like the top of a house. Push that button. That means to the power of. What do we want to go to the power of? 8?
10.
10. Well, you should be able to do that one. So we're doing 15 to the power of 10. It's kind of hard to see.
1 to the power of 10.
Okay, hit enter and you get a really, really big number.
5.76650.
It actually put it in scientific notation. That's how big it is.
Good job.
Okay. Try a smaller number. So if you did 2 to the power of 8, it would look like this. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 8 times. You understand that? So 2 to the power of 8 should be 256.
Yes.
Now, what if I want to square root something? On your calculator, right above x squared, you see the little square root sign. It's right here, this little blue. It looks like a little house. We call it a little house. Okay, that's the square root sign. So if I want to do 25, the square root of 25, we should know that one, right? 5 times 5 is 25, so that's the square root of 25. But if I want to do it, hit shift, the second button, second, and then the x squared, and you see it begins it. It's hard for me to see if I can tell. There you go. Square root of, they have the parenthesis, type 25, and then hit close parenthesis. Now, it'll work if you don't hit the close parenthesis, but sometimes you're doing a lot more equations. So.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute.
Second, hit the second button, and then square root.
It's the blue button.
It's the light blue button,
No.
and then type 25, close parenthesis.
You hit the second button.
And then hit enter, and you should get 5 free answer.
So you hit 15 first, then second.
So you're missing a parenthesis.
Oh.
Make sure you put the close parenthesis. Square root of 25 should equal 5.
Wait, so what's the order again?
So I'll do it again. Hit the second button,
Second.
and then hit the x squared button. And it should say, and then on your calculator, you should have that square root, open parentheses. It's hard for me to find a not reflection. There we go. Ish. Then type in 25 and close parenthesis.
Wait, what's the first number?
That 25?
Oh.
We're doing the square root of 25.
It's the square root of 64. It's 8.
8. Yep.
How do you back things?
Press, you can press the delete key or the back, or use the arrows. Shh. Okay, come on guys. I'm showing you how to easily use your calculator for your homework, and y'all are talking too much. Okay, what if I want to do the cubed root? So instead of the squared root, I want to do a 3 root. Do you guys know how to do that? So if I have 5 to the power of 3, I get 125. You should all be able to do that. 5 to the power of 3.
Wait,
The 5 to the power of 3 should be 125. If I want to do the cubed root of that, I'm going to hit second and then choose the little up arrow so you can see where it says x and that square root. Sorry, you got to put a 3 in first. My bad. Put 3 because we're doing the cubed root. So put a 3 and then hit second and then that up arrow right here because we're trying to get this little button right above it, the light blue. So 3, and you see the little x cubed root of 125, and then hit enter. Let me see if I can get it to show up. 3 x cubed root of 125. You should get 5.
5. Oh, wait, how did you get 2?
It's backwards because of my flipped screen. It's a 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you can do the cubed root, 4th root, 5th root, whatever. All right, those were the basics that I wanted to teach you today.
Yay.
That'll give you a lot of things to do. All right? Oh, last thing. If you get your calculator stuck in where it's getting you a bunch of syntax errors, it means you've put it into some kind of format. besides, you might be doing it wrong, but like if I'm plugging in the same thing as my friend is on their calculator and it's giving me a different answer, then you've probably hit the second button and turned on one of these other. All you should say on your screen is that DEG at there. If it says more than that, then you're in a weird mode. So in order to get out of that mode, clear doesn't get you out of that mode. You have to, like she had K on earlier. Yeah, don't press it. You'll be stuck in it. So let me show you if I can hopefully show you. So right here by DEG, you see this little tiny K? See how that's permanently on? I don't have anything on my calculator. To turn that off, you hit second K again, and it will turn it off. So a lot of times if you get stuck in a different mode, you can turn the mode off by hitting the mode button again. The other way to do it is to hit the second button and the reset, which is on the 0. See the 0 reset above it? Yes. Been talking this whole time. All right, so hopefully that will help you in your calculator usage. Any questions now? Yes, Sam?
Why am I in engineering?
Because you turned it on. Turn it off. I just told y'all how to turn it off. Help him out, Aaron. Any other questions? All right.